Welcome everyone to the Life, Love, and Money Show with Summer and
Jen.
Hey. So today we're going to talk about 3 tips to kick your entrepreneurial journey into high gear. Okay, so the first tip is understand your passion for what you're doing. This is so critical. If you have no passion for what you're doing or you've lost that passion, okay, stop, take a deep breath and get ready, because what you're going to do now is you're going to try and re-identify why you're passionate about what you're doing, if you're still passionate about what you're doing, and how you can grow that passion again. It's okay. It's okay if that passion starts to wane a little bit, but grab back the why, be intentional, understand why you're passionate. Jen, you want to add to that?
Yeah, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and I love that you're saying, okay, think about it. If you kind of, and have to reconnect with that, I think it's also good for us to give ourselves permission to be honest with ourselves, because if you're reflecting on this particular thing about your passion and maybe you've lost it, sometimes it just needs a recharge, but sometimes you might discover as well that, like, you know what, I really don't want to do this anymore. And just know that if that's a decision you make and you're solid with it and it feels good and it's in alignment, it's okay to say, you know what, I don't want to continue. But if, I'm just mentioning that if that's the case, but it could also be very well, like what Summer said, it just might be a case of you needing to reconnect with your passion for what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Great tips, Jen. Okay, so the number 2 tip is make sure what you are doing aligns with your values. Jen and I talk about this all the time. I know it. We want to drive this home. Your values are so critical to your everyday experiences, if you're an entrepreneur, if you have a job or a career, understand how your values play a part in all that you do, to include entrepreneurship. It is so important. If you don't understand, we have additional videos that we posted here that talk about values. So check those out. What are your thoughts about number 2, Jen?
I think this is so critically important. If you don't know what your values are, it's going to be a little more difficult to reignite that passion like we just talked about in number 1. When you have your values identified and then you figure out, okay, is this in alignment with me? That's going to have a big, strong correlation to how much passion you're going to have for it. So very, very critical that you set that foundation by identifying those core values and making sure that they're in alignment with what you're doing.
Absolutely. Now, tip number 3. All right, ready for this? Okay, so get connected. Start engaging on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, the platform that works for you, but get connected and start creating relationships. Creating relationships is so critical as an entrepreneur to raise your awareness of what's going on in your career path with other entrepreneurs, and just to get, like I said, connected, to start developing those relationships that are going to nurture what you're doing, that are going to hold you up as an entrepreneur. It is so important, because when you feel like you're alone, yet when you're connected, you don't feel so much that way any longer. It makes a huge difference, and it really will impact your journey and help kick it into high gear. Jen, thoughts?
Yes, I heard this phrase from a friend a long time ago, and she would say, get connected or get left behind. For those of us who may be afraid, or you don't want to, or you're against it, you really need to come to terms that this is a critical part of building your business. We, especially, with pandemic and quarantine, everybody is, I shouldn't say everybody, but majority of people are either working from home or online. And so utilizing these social platforms to build connections and relationships is so critically important. And I will also mention, it's very important that you either comment, like, share people's content before you start going straight into the DMs or messaging or emailing people like, hey, this is what I have. You want to buy it? You may not say it that directly, and some people have, but be very careful. That is not the way to build relationships. That's just not how you do it. And it will become a turnoff. So if you're going to get connected and you're going to use the social media platforms, make sure you're doing it the right way that people will appreciate and want to build a relationship with you, so that that can happen in order for you to grow your business. So those are our 3 tips to kick your entrepreneurial journey into high gear. Thank you, Summer. And if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button below. Make sure you subscribe as well and turn on notifications so when we have our weekly videos come out, you know when the next one is here. So thank you again for being here. Until next time, thanks so much.
Thank you.